Hi everyone, my name's Hugh Stewart. It's Hi-Speed Motorsports. I'm going to take you for a tour around the shop. Yeah, metal and all kinds of other stuff. I'm sure we can find it on YouTube. So, I want to give you an idea of what we do here. We prepare race cars, build race cars, maintain race cars throughout the season for our SCCA, NASA, a couple of different other things. We build everything from pretty much scratch here. We have all kinds of machinery, band saws, drill presses, lathes, milling machines, you know, you name it. We can do just about anything. We fabricate our own control arms for suspension stuff, small parts, big parts. We have 3D printers up front, pretty much everything. Let me give you an idea. This car used to be Christina Lamb's car, one of our current drivers. This was her first race car. It was on the front cover of Grassroots Motorsports. Some people might remember it from that. It has a pink cage, the infamous pink cage. It's been sold to a new person now who's racing it. Still looks pretty much the same, different number on the side of the car, but otherwise it's the same car. It's here for a lot of upgrades and maintenance in the off season. It's getting some new engine work, some suspension stuff, transmission stuff. And here we go, we have another customer who has hypergrams, Konig hypergrams. Here's a guy who's works in New York City. Pretty much his car stays here a lot because they don't have any parking in New York City. So it's one of the things that we offer also. Customers have a tendency to park their cars here, their trailers here. We bring them to the racetrack for them. We do pretty much from one end to the other. We build the cars, we coach, we maintain, we do anything and everything. If you crash, we're the ones taking care of your car when you crash it. If you break the engine, we fix the engines. So he's getting a lot of upgrades because this year he actually plans on starting racing. He's been doing these driver education things, which basically is just at speed but not really racing. So now he's ready to take the big step to go racing. So we've been doing all the necessary upgrades like safety equipment and brakes and everything else to make it a full-blown race car. This will be his first year in racing. So now we have another car. Not something that we do a lot of, but we do some street car work. This one's here for a rear subframe that's damaged. It's kind of popular on BMWs, the 3 Series. They crack the floor, we do the repairs, a lot of welding, reinforcing, and somehow this car has a set of Konig wheels on it as well. Over here is our workbench and some of our part stuff. When we're building transmissions or diffs, it all gets done up there. We have a Sandblaster. This box pretty much is just bodywork stuff. When cars have crashes, light crashes where it's just a small dents and so on, most of the equipment to fix that stuff is in this. So here we have 2 cars, one of which is a current race car. His name is Sean. He's been racing for us for over a year now. Last year was his rookie year. It's here for more upgrades for winter. It's gonna get some weight removed from it. It's gonna get some power upgrades. We're doing a little bit more in the aero department, a little bit of everything. And now here is one of the more famous cars, Christina Lamb's cars. She's been racing this for 2 years in SCCA T1. Car that, we built this one from the ground up. She had a pretty bad crash, which rode off a car, and we had to build this one in 60 days. It was a rough 60 days, but we managed to pull it off. She went to the runoffs with it, did pretty good, had a top 10 finish at VIR, and hopefully she can have more success in the future with it. All right, so over here we have our welding station, Lincoln, multi-pass welder. We can TIG, MIG, stick weld with this. We've been using it for a couple years. We love this stuff. And we also have the Lincoln plasma cutter. I don't know if anyone knows anything about plasma cutters, but that thing is pretty amazing. We'll cut through just about any piece of steel with the blink of an eye. We also have in this area lots of our spare engines. This one is the original motor from my car. We've been sitting it around, not wanting to use it. Still good, but we just don't want to use it because it's the original one that came with my car and it's kind of got sentimental value. I won a lot of races and a bunch of championships with it, so it just sits here.
So what are you gonna do with it? Frame it? What are you gonna put it?
We don't know. We have no idea what its intended purpose is, but it sits here as, we can't let it go because it's won like big championship races. It's raced at Indy. It's been everywhere, and it's just, I don't want anything to happen to it. It sits in the corner. It's taped up so nothing gets inside, and that's where it sits. As you can see, we got tires. These are all olds. We have a ton of new, but they're all over the place. We have hypergrams that actually, I think this is from me last year. I kind of got into the side of somebody and left a little bruise on it. but I did win the race.
That's what matters.
Do you like hypergrams?
So over here we have, this is Pete's workstation, which usually isn't this clean, but it is today, so. And then we have my baby here. This is my 2003 E46 M3, again, hypergrams, which pretty much has been racing since I think 2014 and has won lots of races, lots of championships. And it's my baby. We were gonna sell it and I kind of got sentimental and decided not to. So now it's kind of our test mule where we've been testing parts that we keep making or testing stuff for different manufacturers. I don't know if I'll ever sell it. So now I'm gonna take you over to this area, which is a little bit messy. At the moment, typically we build cylinder heads over here. We have one sitting here on the bench. It could be anything from like valve spring upgrades to you name it. We have parts cleaner for the small parts. This is our pipe bender. We make roll cages from the ground up and we use this thing. It's a JD squared hydraulic because my back hurts and I don't want to get any, more pains from trying to make cages. But yeah, we do use this to make our cages. We don't make a whole lot of cages anymore. It's time consuming. There's other alternatives. So we've been, kind of slowly getting out of the cage stuff, but we still do a few every now and then. This is our front work area. All kinds of things happen up here. I'll tell you a little bit of history. Some of these cars are current race cars, some of them are old race cars, but this is our wall of, pretty historic cars. Some of these are current drivers. This is Christina Lamb's old car. Here's my current car. There's an old car of mine. And here's one that dates back to Bridgehampton days, Auto Trend, which is where Joe Schaefer used to be. There's a little bit of everything history-wise in here. This is a car that I raced in World Challenge in the early 2000s. A couple of our trophies over the years. We have like a NASA championship. We have some SCCA championships. We have, every time we win a race, we get one of these flags. And as you can see, there's a good amount of flags here. And the champagne is pretty much the same thing. We don't drink, but we have lots of champagne. So all podium finishers get champagne. So this is our area where unfortunately we just have them kind of piling up.
They're all capped.
Yeah, we don't really spray champagne very often because then your suit has to be dry cleaned and not everybody wants to deal with that, especially if you have another race that weekend. So yeah, it doesn't happen very often. Big races, we absolutely spray champagne, but the not so big ones, we don't. And then we pretty much do everything in race cars from one end to the other. Right here, we have a vinyl machine. So all of our decals and all the other, names that have to go on cars, numbers that go on cars, it's all done in-house. So we don't have to outsource anything. Here's one of our more famous NASA racers. His name is Luis Serva. He drives a wide body E46 M3 and he absolutely destroys the class. We are doing a bunch of upgrades on his car this off season. It's not here right now, it's coming next weekend, and it will be a shocker when everyone sees it again this year. It always raises the bar every year. We're like the Mercedes of, NASA when it comes to this particular class. And we plan on just going out and destroying the competition. And he is one guy that you need to watch. He's pretty exciting, very fast guy. Once again, guys, I'd like to thank everybody for coming down to see our garage tour, and thanks Konig for putting this together for us. This is Hi-Speed Motorsports. I'm the owner, Hugh Stewart. You can find us on all social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, everything. Just check us out, see what we do, see if we can help you, or see you at the racetrack.